What does trying to shame him for his instinctive alliances with Putin look like? Trying to change that behavior?
Well, I mean, this is something I'm very actively involved with. In fact, just yesterday, I had a piece in the Guardian about what it would take to have a fair peace in Ukraine. So I'm very involved in pushing this, and I think, as you note, that I mean, if you were to approach Trump and just say you're violating human rights, he'd probably say, "What are those? I don't care."
Mhm.
So a frontal approach doesn't work. But as you know, Trump is very conscious of his public image. He's got a very fragile ego, and that does give us leverage. So I think the best approach with Trump, if you sort of say, well, what does he care about? He thinks of himself as this incredibly savvy negotiator, the art of the deal. And if we can persuade him through the media that he will be looked at as naive if he succumbs to, whether it's, Putin's bamboozling or Netanyahu's efforts in Gaza, that,
Mhm.
unless he takes a firmer stand, which in essence would be a pro-human rights stand, he is going to be looking like, a weak, unsophisticated negotiator. And that's anathema to him. He hates that idea. And so that gives us leverage. I think it's great that Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, go for it. But that means, you don't get a Nobel Peace Prize by, signing away Ukraine's democracy. You don't get a Nobel Peace Prize by underwriting the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. You get a Nobel Peace Prize by doing the right thing. And so these are, ways to go after Trump, who remains incredibly influential in the case of Ukraine because, the U.S. security guarantees for the proposed European reassurance force in Ukraine, the ongoing supply by the United States of weapons to the Ukrainian army are essential to prevent Ukraine from just crumbling, from Putin being able to take over. Similarly in Gaza, the entire world has turned on Netanyahu now. It's Trump's willingness to continue the $3 billion in annual military aid to Israel, the endless supply of arms. That's what keeps the genocide going in Gaza. So if Trump is to use that leverage in either situation, he can make a big difference.